Never try to be better than someone else. Always learn from others. And never cease trying to be the best you could be. That's under your control.
Anybody can be a coach, and a good coach can coach anything.
This kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew.
The mindset of a coach can belong to anyone.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Pain is temporary.
They ask me why I teach, and I reply, where could I find such splendid company?
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 18 of the Coaching Mindset Podcast. I'm Liam O'Neill.
And I'm Gary Wallace. And today I'm ringing Liam all the way from California.
Sunny California. Have you had oranges in California? Like, because it's the orange county?
Well, I'll tell you what, I actually can wake up in the morning and pick an orange right off my uncle's orange tree, which is nice and fresh, which is pretty amazing actually.
That is pretty class.
Yeah, so I just took a picture of my dad beside it the other day, and he looked like the man from Del Monte, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I'm over here. Actually, the main reason I'm over is his sister's getting married next week in Monterey, so it's about a few hours outside San Fran. But decided to make a holiday with myself and Josh and the rest of the family, and we are staying with my uncle here now for the first week. And literally yesterday we were just back from seeing Mickey and Minnie, which was a pretty awesome day. So
are they your cousins?
Yeah, my feet are sore, but I'm buzzing. But just taking the time now over Easter and just relaxing, and the business is still going ahead. And once again, I'm blessed to have so many good people looking after it. But literally can just take the time now and switch off and make memories. So I'll fill you in a wee bit more whenever I get back on everything. But so far it's been absolutely awesome, as they say. Yeah, so it's been good. Yeah,
I've been keeping an eye on your Instagram, and you can see that it's going. You're getting to do fun, well things. So rubbing it in that you hit sun. We hit sun one day though. So
it's one of those ones where you don't want to be over boasting on Instagram by showing too much, but you also do like sharing, because you know there's genuine people there who are texting you back and saying, God, that's great, and it's great to see, and great to see Josh happy and doing X, Y, and Z. So it's good to keep, actually it's a great way to keep people back home updated as well, all our family and friends. So yeah, going well.
Brilliant. This weekend, what did I do? I chilled out a lot. I went to the beach because we had a sunny day. This is what I'm loving about how bad our winter was now, 10 degrees, and we think this is amazing. Like, went to the beach and got in the water, which I only got into it up to my knees. That wasn't the plan, but the water decided to come higher than I was expecting. But even when I was there, like I always make sure to do some Qigong or Tai Chi when I'm there. And Kathy was with me, and I was pointing out that whenever you're doing Tai Chi or Qigong on the beach, especially when you're just standing, you should bury your feet in the sand so that you're more connected to the earth and you're actually in the magnetic field of the earth. So it gives you a nice wee energy buzz from doing that, plus your feet stay warm. So that's what I did this weekend, just a nice chilled out weekend. Last week was hectic, getting the book off the ground and out and going, and then it sold out, which was brilliant. A second batch arrived the other day, and now I'm catching up all that. But I didn't realize how much effort and time I put into the book until I was finished having to do that, and now I've gained a couple hours a week of free time. So it's been brilliant.
I can start to notice your social media and everything's starting to catch up now. You're having this wee bit more free time.
So get back to the videos and everything now.
No, that's good, and as I said, and I'll say it again, it definitely is. It's a good read. I actually have it over here with me. I must get on the beach and have another wee read over it. Go over my highlighted points. By the way, if you are getting Liam's book, make sure to have the highlighter at the ready, because there's some brilliant points that you can go back over, and I've used a lot of the techniques so far. So, well done, you.
Thank you, sir. So we'll get into what we're doing then. Do you want to tell the audience who we have this week?
Well, this week, first of all, we podcast sponsor this week is my uncle, Paddy Gallagher. Paddy Gallagher Races. So Paddy's kindly sponsored this podcast. It was a wee bit about my uncle. He's a horse trainer over here in LA.
Is he a horse whisperer?
Nah, close enough. Close enough. Yeah. He's 40 horses to whisper. So yeah, I think one of his best horses at the minute is called Flamboyant. So if any of my friends out there into a bit of gambling, you can look out for Paddy Gallagher's Flamboyant. Seems to be the big horse at the moment. But yeah, we actually went over to the stables one day and. Different life, different world. It was great insight. So he's kindly sponsored this episode.
Brilliant. Thank you, Paddy.
Thank you, Paddy. So we have Ryan, I call him Duffman Balloons.
Ryan Duffman Tracy.
Ryan Duffman Tracy. So Ryan was kind enough to come on, and again another inspiring story. It was actually great for him, and it's a great one for anybody who thinks that they're too old to start something, or maybe they're not good enough. Ryan started making balloons for his family. He's got 5 kids, and just went from there. I'll let him tell the story. It's a lot better, but it's a great wee one for if you have a goal, you have a vision. Doesn't matter what age or whatever you are, just go for it. So, and I think Ryan explains that pretty well in this podcast.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his talk, as usual. But so everyone just get a cup of tea or whatever, sit down, relax, and enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, good one. Enjoy, as seen on Britain's Got Talent.
And Blue Peter, he had a Blue Peter badge. Look at the YouTube page, Blue Peter badge.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, enjoy, guys.
Bye. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 18 of the Coaching Mindset Podcast. I'm Liam O'Neill.
And I'm Gary Wallace, and today we have the pleasure of Ryan Tracy, Duff Balloon Ninja Man. So, kind of give him loads of names. But Ryan, would you like to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Absolutely. What's happening, guys? Thanks for having me on first and foremost. Yes, my name is Ryan Tracy. I go by lots of different names. But yeah, Duff is my nickname, which most people know me by. So basically I'm a local balloon modeler. Grew up in Oma, I live in Bear at the minute. I've been around here for a long time. I'm not just turned actually, I'm 36 and a half, so I'm getting pretty young, so nice. Young and nimble. But yes, I've been a balloon modeler for about 4 years now. I've had good success over the last 18 months. But that success didn't just come out of the dark of night, I had to earn it, I had to work for it, and I'm going to talk a bit about that today. But good success over the last while. Made lots of kids and lots of adults smile.
Nice. So literally made a lot of kids as well, Mike.
Yeah, I've made a lot of kids. 5 kids, yeah. So 5 kids and counting. Well, not counting just yet, but yeah, plan to have more. Yeah. 7's my number. 7 is my number,
Nice. Must be your why 7?
I don't know. I just like the number 7,
I think you will have it into basketball. You want the Duff basketball team, and then you want to make balloons at half time. That's what you want
to do.
Since we're talking about kids, that's how you got into this, didn't you? Your own, not other people's, but
absolutely. I mean, the first thing that the only reason I got into balloon modeling was wanting to entertain my kids, wanting to make my kids happy, wanting to make them smile, and figuring out how to do that. I mean, some of the early days, whenever you're trying to get your young kids to eat food, is really interesting because they don't want to eat the food because it doesn't look that nice, healthy for them. So you do lots of things to try and get them to do it. So I went to circus school and I learned how to juggle and stuff like that there. And then I got a balloon modeling kit and I thought, I'll have a go at that. Started making balloons. Very, very noisy, as you may know. And at the start, I was really, really bad at it. Really, really bad at it. I remember my wife saying, "You're pretty bad at that." The first time, just to clarify, were you bad at it? I was pretty bad, yeah. And then I thought, I gotta get better at this. And like anything in my life, I says to my wife, I said, I'm going to try my best at this, and I am actually going to be the best in the world at this. And she said, "Yeah, I am."
That's a good mentality though. Like a lot of people would try it, be told they're not good. Someone they love would tell them they're not good, and then they'd be like, right, forget about it.
Yeah, so, it is, it's about that determination and dedication. It's about that commitment. It's about making a positive choice in your mind towards something, and about then going in the direction of that. I made a choice back then. I thought, no, that's not good enough for me. I'm going to get good at it. But I didn't expect anyone else to get good at it for me. I knew that I had to do it myself. I knew I had to put in the time. I've done over 3,500 hours practice now, and it's just growing every week because I practice every single day. Like every day is a balloon day for me. So
There's the tagline. And then the other thing I'd ask is, you said that you got this determination when you try stuff. Is there stuff that you have tried before and failed at?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Every day is a
explain one, or have you kind of done
you
stuff?
know what? I think it's quite pertinent that the name's in the room for this, because Liam is a martial arts. yes, in the round.
Amazing person.
But he's an elite level martial artist. You know, I went to Wadokai Karate in Oman, and I'd done it for about 9 months. I got up one belt, and I think they were being quite kind to me. I brought my daughter, who was then 9, and then the first night, our Rebecca, the instructor says to me, she's probably a belt above you. And I thought to myself, and I really wanted to be good at karate.
Yeah.
My whole life I thought my calling was to be, you know, somebody like a karate kid.
Yeah.
But it turns out I'm not very good at it. But you know what? That's okay. I tried.
Good.
I didn't give up on it. I actually will probably want to go back at some stage, but it's just not for me at the minute. But listen, there's plenty of stuff. But you have to try these things. If you don't try, you don't know. And if you don't fail, you'll never succeed.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I really like that. So then, tell us a wee bit about what happened. So how did you go from Duff Man sitting surrounded by your kids going, shut up and eat your dinner, here's a duck, to,
Duck?
you know,
It's pretty hard, actually.
I was thinking, like, here's a hot dog.
far best in the hot dog, remember that?
Hey.
It's a good day.
It's a good day.
So how then did you go from that, sitting in your house thinking, right, I'm going to prove you wrong, wife, and be the best, to standing on the stage in Britain's Got Talent?
I mean, that era was a roller coaster. Like, you know, I think what happened first and foremost was I wanted to make kids smile. Like I say, it's a big thing I always say, and it's a hard thing to do sometimes, but I realized early on that making a balloon did light up a kid's face, and it was really important to me. So the more kids' faces you make light up, the happier they are, the happier it makes you.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying that is because my first gig was a voluntary gig. I done it whenever I was just practicing becoming a balloon man. I think my forte or my what do you call it, the list of things I could do was basically dogs and swords at that stage. But I remember doing a gig, and there was like 500 kids, and there was a big line, and they all wanted balloons, and I was like, this is a lot of pressure. I need to get faster. So I started to think more, and I realized that actually getting faster for me is not about actually thinking, it's about not thinking.
Yeah.
It's about actually letting your muscle memory and letting your body, and that's why now I can do balloon modeling world records behind my back. I can do it blindfolded. I have complete trust in the fact that in my brain are imprinted all the designs that I know in balloon modeling. I can do them without thinking about it. So yeah, that started there, and then people heard that I was okay at it, and then people started booking me, and then I started doing lots more stuff. And then just happened one night, right place, right time, and having the right positive mental attitude to take an opportunity when it was landed on my lap. I was in a bar in Oman one night, and Britain's Got Talent scouts were there. I walked in the bar like this, and basically the whole bar turned around and stared at me. It was like something out of Western, like, you know what I mean? They just turned around.
Doors just open up.
Yeah.
For the people that aren't watching on YouTube, go on YouTube and just see the studio.
Yeah, it's like,
it's not bad at boom. Yeah. It's a little tad loud, you know. But yeah, the whole bar turned around, and I remember thinking, oh my God, please just swallow me up, because I was quite embarrassed. But then I thought to myself, you either be embarrassed in this suit or you own it. And I just kind of strutted across the bar and stood awkwardly against the bar, and I thought, oh my, what am I doing here? Like, and Britain's Got Talent came over to me and says, love your suit, what do you do? I says, I'm a balloon modeler. And he says, will you go up and do something on camera? And I said, absolutely not. It was my first reaction, and within, I think, a couple of seconds, I says, let me think about it. And I did think about it, and I always wanted to do a world record. I never knew that I could actually beat a world record or be a world record holder, but that night I thought, this is my opportunity to have a go, and what have I got to lose? Seriously, what have I got to lose? So that's when I done it. I'll tell you, that's when I went up and I attempted to break the world record for the most balloon dogs made in 60 seconds. The record was 13. I equaled it that night, but what I found really strange was that people really loved it. They really loved watching me speed balloon model, and they really got behind me. And then they interviewed me that night on camera for about 5 minutes. And I remember going home actually and telling my wife. My wife was sleeping. It was really close to midnight, and I says, she says, "How'd your night go?" And I says, I got Palmer Britain's Got Talent, hoping to get on the show. And she just went, "Yeah, you're right." And then 2 weeks later, I get the phone call, and it all happens, and it's nuts. I end up standing on a stage, first time ever on a stage, standing on a stage in front of 2,000 audience. You literally had to look straight up, right up to the sky, went up to the audience, and the 4 judges were there, and it could have been really, really overwhelming, only for one thing. My whole life, I wanted a massive opportunity. I was ready for it. I knew I could make balloons. My main goal in that show was not to really impress people on the show or make Simon stand up and call me a hero or say that he would always remember the day he was there. What my goal was to take a Guinness World Record back to my hallway in Barra, put it on the wall and say to my kids, see, if you work hard enough, you're dedicated enough and you're determined enough and you persist at it on a regular basis and you really want it, then you can achieve it. And I think it's really important, but hey, tough out of the road, like.
I think the good thing is what did you start? When did you pick it up?
About when I was about 32.
Yeah. So that's what we 4 years at it now, just
about 4 years. Yeah.
So people turn around and say, "Oh, I'm too young or too old. I'm too this." You're never,
never
pick something up.
Yeah,
absolutely. And like I said earlier about trying something and failing, hey, my whole life I've tried. I've had good success in some areas. I've had little success in other areas, but I was always wanting to try new things, and like I've had a lifetime of academia. Like I've done loads of qualifications. I have a good job. I think I've done at least over 30 different jobs, and I've tried loads and loads of different things, and that's what I say to anybody. Keep trying stuff until you find something that you really, really like and enjoy, and you'll be really surprised that something really good and positive could come out of it. Because one of the biggest things out of this whole madness that's happened to me over the last 18 months is the fact that people, like somebody come up to me last week and says, "You the guy that was on X Factor?" I say it all the time. I can't sing, and they go, "Oh, I mean, Britain's Got Talent." I say, "Yeah," and they say, "We were really proud of you." And I was like, that's insane. You're a complete stranger and telling me you're proud of me. It was so endearing and lovely, to think that people think like that's great.
Right, it's like it's that whole thing, and that's what we aim to do as well. Even with this podcast, is try to inspire.
Yeah,
everybody can do it through different forms. Yeah. Yours is just a really cool, fun form. But people could turn around and say, "Oh, that's just silly balloon making." But you're standing up there, you're representing your family, first of all. You've got that connection with your family. You're representing your town, the people around you, and then you're representing people you don't even know.
Exactly.
See, and you're actually you're putting everything into it, and people can see that. And hopefully, listening to this, they'll hear you too.
Plus, you're teaching people that, like I would have said it my whole life from when I started martial arts, that when I decided I wanted to be a martial artist, especially coming from Oma, I was like, I want to be a kung fu master. I was sort of the same approach, people going, all right, fair, go on ahead, Liam, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I came back 8 years later, at the top level that I'm at, and things, it's sort of, you can then teach people that, like, it really can be anything. I say to people, you can be whatever you want. Like, and I have some weird friends, yourself included, like,
Cheers, buddy.
but you can be in a job that you hate and succeeding, or you can feel it's something you love. Like, like when you break it down, like, I was a martial arts instructor. That was my whole job, which is a strange job to have.
Yeah.
And you're out being a balloon modeler. Like, if you had to say that 6 years ago to people, I'm going to be a balloon modeler and I'm going to achieve all this, and people are going to actually come up and say, "Oh, I'm really proud of what you did," you'd be laughed out of the room.
Absolutely. And I think, to be honest with you, at the start of when I was starting to do the stuff I was doing, when balloon modeling and gone out, I think a lot of people did look at me, and a lot of people, when I came back to Oma, actually, because I was away for a long time, to come back and started doing balloon modeling, I think people look at me and going, "Cheapers, that he's fallen far from the tree, hasn't he?" Like, you know what I mean? That boy there hasn't been up to much for his life. And see, to be honest with you, it took a lot for me in the early days to have the confidence to kind of go, "I'm sticking with this because this thing's important," But I did stick with it, and the people that kind of looked at me and kind of went, "What is this guy doing?" I think certainly they would have been the people sitting on their sofa jumping up and down whenever I came on TV, which is brilliant. But I mean, I think it's testament to pushing the boundaries, testing the boundaries, and just kind of going with your gut. But it takes a lot of resilience actually to stick at what you're at and have the belief. And I always had the belief. I never for 1 second thought that I could actually do some of the stuff I've done or achieve some of the stuff. And I think there's a lot of luck in that. But I think my passion and my drive and motivation for it has kind of carried me through, you know, and it's paid off, you know, and it's just, for me, it's the start of a journey. The journey, this is only the start of this thing for me, and it's a great way to start, but I have loads of stuff I want to do, so it's a good platform, like.
You mentioned there as well too, you mentioned a few keywords like determination and commitment and stuff. You say you practice balloons every day. Can you give us kind of an outline, like how long or?
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I have a full-time job. Balloons is I'm a part-time clown, I like to say. I love to say, actually. But, you know, see, whenever, like, for the last couple of years, where I work, whenever people we get a tea break in the morning, tea break in the afternoon, and then a lunch break and stuff like that. Whenever people go and chill out and go and have their tea and chat to people and the rest, I go out to my car and get out my balloons, and I learn new balloons. I try new things, and, you know, make different things. And so that's my time. And then when I'm at home and the kids are in bed and stuff like that, or weekends, and like people don't see the stuff, like, in order for me to have a kit that's is ready for purpose whenever I'm out doing balloon modeling. When I'm balloon modeling, it's like I said, it's all about speed, but it's also about entertaining and stuff like that. So I can't spend a lot of time going, what colour do you want? How long do I check my bag and go through a bag? So everything's laid out, but I have to prep all that, like, you know, and I'll be sitting on a Friday, Saturday night when everybody else is out partying and having a crack, and I'm sitting counting balloons and sorting out balloons. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you have to do, you know. So you have to be committed, and you have to be prepared to learn. I would call myself an amateur in balloons. I would call myself an amateur in the
world record holding amateur.
How many world records have you got?
Well, I have a couple now, you know. I have a couple. I do have 2 Guinness World Records officially. I've attempted a couple more. You'll have to wait to see them. They come on TV now very soon. But and I've loads of other Guinness World Records on a different World Records organisation as well. But listen, I have a database with 646 records that I want to beat, like, so again, it's only the start for me, and it's just getting time to actually do them. But it's about learning, it's about being open to learning. But actually, see, recently, I started off learning balloon models that people put up videos on YouTube, and that's how I learned. I'm self-taught and explored it that way. But now I'm starting to actually build massive balloon sculptures and stuff, and I'm getting to kind of where I wanted to go from the start, and that's like I see the balloon, I see the world as balloons. You know what I mean? I look at things and go, could I make it out of balloons? Like, and so I'm starting to get there. So I think I can't be limited by what I could. People say, many things can you make? And I say, that's about 568 now. And then I go, well, but I'm learning new things every day. So I don't want to be limited by a number. The only thing that's to limit me really is my imagination.
Nice.
So what you said sculptures? What sort of sculptures have you made?
In February there, me and my friend Darren built a 12-foot balloon astronaut for Northern Ireland Science Fest. Took 353 balloons. We built it in foil side, and I got a fantastic response. People loved to see it being built. Took us about 14 hours to build it. It was really impressive, but people were coming over and getting their photographs with it, and then it stood for 10 days too, which was brilliant, you know. And like the day after that Science Festival ended, they booked us again for next year and says next year double the budget, want to see bigger things, and I was all happy days, like, you know.
Just build a big version of you.
The power pose.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah. And that's actually amazing, like in the time. And one of my questions too, see when you're doing it, do you get that sense of passion, you know, as if when you're doing this you're like, I'm just loving this?
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever I'm doing it, I'm kind of like, well, yes and no, because I put myself under a lot of pressure. So whenever I'm doing it speed and all the rest, and people don't realize it, but whenever you're entertaining and you have to be entertaining, there's a lot of pressure on you, because people are watching your every single move. They're watching how you engage, how you interact, how you talk, what you do with your hands, what you're doing with the balloon. If you pop the balloon, kids will go, he's no good. Like, I didn't pop that on purpose, you know, but you gotta just keep going and make a joke out of it and stuff like that there. But yes, I do have a passion, absolutely, for when I'm making balloons. I love to perform, actually, which I never thought I really did, but I do love to perform in the context of doing balloons and making things, and as I say, seeing their reactions great. Kids are wild, honestly, really honest. See if they don't like a balloon, they don't need to tell you they don't like a balloon. You look in their face and you see the disappointment. Do you know what I mean? And you realise, thankfully, that hasn't happened too often out of probably a couple of 100,000 kids. Like, so it's not been too bad, you know. But actually, one of the big things for me is the fact that you can buy a balloon modelling kit for less than £1, but to take that balloon modelling kit and then have an opportunity to be able to translate your passion and what you love and how dedicated and committed you are to an audience of, I think some of the stuff I've done in the last 18 months has probably reached in the excess of 30 million people worldwide. So that's insane. Like, it's actually insane. And I still genuinely believe that I'm going to wake up someday and somebody's going to say, "Wise up, lad. What are you talking about?" No, it didn't happen. But, you know, hey, honestly, it's really nice to be for all of this to have happened, you know. And something you said earlier actually was about, you know, you think that it translates as to how passionate I am and how I come across. One of the big things that worked for me in Britain's Got Talent was that I didn't go on to pretend to be anybody else. I just went on and chatted as Ryan Trace, and I thought, when I said to my wife, I says, I don't think they're going to get it, like, because I'm just going on to twist lock of balloons, dress as a tube, and you know what I mean. I thought, I don't think they're going to get it, but they were really endeared by just me kind of just chatting and being me. And you're right, I think they could see the passion and drive and stuff like that. And they all got behind me, like, and like, it was insane, like, you know.
That's brilliant, like, because we were just saying one of our last 2 podcasts ago, like, you know, and everybody we've actually have on, they just talk, and you could sitting here now, you're just like, you love balloons. It's a weird thing to say, but you love what you do. I think it's fantastic, especially to the amount of people that you can inspire, and you can go out and that you probably don't even know you're doing. You know it, and I think as well too, it's amazing. Like, obviously, my biggest area is working with kids. You're right, they're 100% honest. But it can be one of the most rewarding things. It is just, that's what we say with coaches coming on board with me now as well too. And I always say that, you know, you don't have to have all the qualifications. You don't even have to have any. You know what I mean? As long as you're accessing age checked and, you know, you can actually work with kids, that's fine. But if you have a passion for it and you actually want to help inspire somebody to do so, then I can teach you how to do the XCOs, or you could find it yourself on YouTube. I always tell my coaches, go to YouTube, but it's your delivery. It's how you perform. It's how you actually be there. And even then, I would say to them, you know, if you're having the worst day ever, you have to be a radio presenter. You have to go in and be, hey, yes, guys. That's right. You could be hungover, you could be whatever, but you have to be like, no, switch this on. Because that could just change the notion of one wee child who might not like balloons forever. For me, might not like physical activity anymore from that one bad experience. So I think it's good. It's good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just you're right. It is massive. Like, and I think one of the things that's big for me is that I care about that situation, that environment, and that engagement. May it be 60 seconds or a couple of minutes if I get to spend that with the child. I do care that they go away and they're happy and they've had a good, positive experience. And actually, we're 3 men sitting around a table, like, you know what I mean? And I think we need more positive male role models in society.
I fully agree.
And, you know, I think... But genuinely, men get a hard time. Hey, we're not all that bad. Like, you know what I mean?
That's all, lads, we can't open up, we can't. It's better.
What you're saying there, like, I was a youth leader for just about 10 years and run a couple of youth clubs, and I still meet some of the ones that I would have been their youth leader now, and they'll come up and say to me, like, oh, you know, you really helped me do this. You probably don't know this, but you kept me going at school and stuff. And I think it is important, like you said, it is important to have male role models that are willing to open up about how they feel, their emotions and things like that. But again, showing them that you can, it's back to, I already said it in this podcast already, but you can literally do whatever you want. Like, when you sit around and look at what the 3 of us have achieved, probably with a lot of people going, that is not going to work. Like, that's not going to... just wanted to get on it because your jacket moved and it revealed the Blue Peter badge.
Oh, yeah, my old Blue Peter badge, yes. I do have I have a couple of these, actually.
Could you show it off? Can I have one for a day? Love the Blue Peter badge.
Do you know what's interesting about them? Hey, is that they get you into over 200 attractions throughout the UK, but in Northern Ireland there's like 2 things, and it's like things you know, it's stuff like that.
It's 2 parking is closed.
Exactly. So you got to travel for it, but no, I got my Blue Peter badge, the first one, the day after my birthday, actually, in last year. I got my first one, and it was really actually poignant. And I remember looking at the video recently. I don't know how much myself back, but I was looking at the video recently, when I was on Blue Peter for the second time, because they showed they were like, "Here's the time you were here the last time," and I was all okay. And actually, I've never seen it before, but see, whenever I broke that world record, the passion, I was like, it was such a relief. And the reason why it was because the world record I beat in Blue Peter and got this badge was the world record that I equaled in Britain's Got Talent semi-finals. Nice. I didn't think I had a good pop, and I felt disappointed in myself because I only equaled the record in Britain's Got Talent. And I kept saying I had beef for that record. Like, so to beat it in Blue Peter, they were like, "This guy is really excited about beating this record." And I was like, "You don't understand what that means to me as a person to actually go back and beat that." And having the chance to do that on live TV was fantastic. Like, so I've done a few things to get Blue Peter badge. I'm very proud to wear it. It's something I'd always wanted to have. People always used to say to me growing up, if you said, "I'm the best blue man in the world," and say, "What do you want, a Blue Peter badge?" I do.
That was always the same. Wasn't it? What do you want, Blue Peter badge? I just completed blah blah. What do you want, Blue Peter badge? I think it's just an Irish thing to do, isn't it? Like, knock somebody down. The thing you mentioned before, that you said whenever you were starting, there were some days you're like, "God, am I cut out for this anymore?" Or it was down. What did you do to get through that? Was goals you set, or what?
I think something that I haven't really talked about really is there was two motivating factors for me becoming a balloon modeler and taking it to the level I took it to. One was passion and wanting to do it, yes, and my dedication allowed me to do that. But the other motivating factor was, I think if I'm talking honestly, is that I set up a small business. It was my first business ever set up. I wanted it to be the best business. I wanted to go on Britain's Got Talent so I could put on my posters and my banners that as seen on Britain's Got Talent. Never thought I could do it, never thought it would happen, but I wanted to give it a shot. And I think that was massive for me. So the motivating factor for me is about supporting my family. It's about supporting an idea as well in relation to being inspirational. I never really consider myself inspirational, to be honest with you, but my whole life has been about wanting to be inspirational, and both to my kids and to some other kids, and hoping that I could do that or have the platform to do that. So every day, whenever I'm kind of whenever you're a balloon modeler and you're entertaining and stuff like that, it can be quite difficult, and I've been in situations where, I've kind of thought to myself, this is really, really difficult, and I'm kind of going, am I going to keep doing this? And I can question myself, but the answer always has to be yes, and it's yes because it's my business and I want to do well, but also I would step away from it very easy if I didn't have the drive and motivation for doing it, so it is, like I say, it's about sustaining my business, about making it one of the best children's entertainment businesses in the world, so I can support my family, as I say, but also it's about, I don't know where this thing can go. Like, this thing's already went places I never thought it could go, so I have loads and loads of plans for where I want to take this, and until I exhaust every opportunity, I'm not going to be entirely happy,
Good. And as well too, it's meant to, I know you've done a lot of work too with Liam, but has it led you to other people opening your eyes, more positive people? Because a lot of people want to put us down, but has it led you to meeting new people? Or
absolutely, hey, it's made me meeting loads of new people. I met Liam very earlier on, and I remember Liam saying to me, "It's going to be a big year for you in 2017." We were talking in 2016, like he predicted. He's
got to get the ball next year.
Absolutely, and I was kind of going, well, I'm hoping it will be, But see, at the start of that whole thing, because I had a small business, I was hyping it up, because even if I didn't get on Britain's Got Talent or anything, I wanted to have good PR around it. I wanted to try and drive a business, stuff like that. But meeting people like Liam was fantastic. Liam helped me a lot through the world records that I got and through all the stuff that I'd done last year, and he's still
honorary world record holder.
That'd be interesting to know. What did you actually do then, Liam? Apart from trying to predict the future and see your crystal ball out, did you smoke around you that day?
We met at a few gigs. That's how we got talking. We intertwined in a few different gigs, and then when we met up, I talked about the mental aspect of being on stage. But I think the first thing we did was explain to you that if you can mentally switch off, then your body will just do the work, and you'll not have to be thinking, right, I need to make a clown here and a bird here and a duck here and this and that and that. So we worked on that. But then the more we worked together, we realised that the body needs to be working. So we came up with different techniques how to. Like I think you tried to teach me to make a dog one day.
Yeah.
I made a wee thing from Rick and Morty one day, so that was good. But
you done alright, man. You done better than most.
But whenever we did that, that was just so we just decided how you would structure your body and how it would move and how things would go faster to add time, because again your whole thing was speed. And then we did breathing, and then we realized that breathing was keeping that breathing was the rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and that's whenever I do stuff like that now, I take it back to the breath, and then people say to me, "What do you be thinking that moment?" No, when that's happening, I just focusing on my breathing. The rest of it happens naturally. I actually done attempted a world record yesterday. I know my down in the Enterprise Centre, and one of the balloons flew off the table. And in that moment, I had to come out of my zone and just go and get that balloon, put it back up, and then just go back into automatic mode. But it still broke the record I was trying to achieve and stuff like that, you know. But I think going back to what you were saying about meeting positive people, it has actually opened up, and I think it's given me an opportunity. Like last year before I done that show, I never met a celebrity in my life. Like I seen what do you call your boy, Jerry Kelly. I didn't even meet him. I seen him in Oma. He pulled up at the petrol station. And I was all like, he's famous. And that was when I was about 10, right? Yeah. So I got my whole life out meeting a celebrity, and then I met all these really inspirational, motivational people throughout the course of last year, and still meeting people this year that I would never have got to meet, I don't think, before. And it's been fantastic, like, and their energy and their stories and their experience and everything has really, really helped me. But what I found about Britain's Got Talent was, like, I met a guy called Tyrone, funny enough, from Spain. And I was like, what's your name? He says Tyrone. I was all, I'm from Tyrone. He's all, what do you mean? And I was all, we gotta talk. And then I was telling him how to spell his name in Irish and everything. He's like, I'm gonna get that tattoo. But anyway, he was a knife thrower. He threw knives at his girlfriend, right? And I was like, yeah, that's not considered quite back then. But he was fantastic. But he was telling me, like, he came from, his father was in the circus, his grandparents from the circus, his mother, his brothers, sisters, his entire history is steeped in circus skills. Like, and I'm going, man, you were like born for that, you know. And he's like going, and then the other guy who I met was Tokyo, who actually won Britain's Got Talent. I met him at one of the days. Me and him clicked straight away, like, and he was saying, yeah, I've been playing the keys since I was really, really young, you know, and I've had good success. He actually used to tour with Kanye West and stuff, and I was like, you've had good success, man. That's all I know, but I'm coming to the talent show just to kind of show people what I can do by myself. And I was all, that's fantastic. So their stories were like brilliant, but I was kind of sitting there going, what are you doing? I'm like, I twist balloons. Do you know what?
I live in Barra and I twist.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it was crazy.
No offense to Barra people. I'm so
Barra rocks.
I got a few good friends in Barra. But I know we one listener from Barra.
Bars from Barra.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was good to mix the be in the mix on people. But at that stage, even at that stage of competition, I was still thinking, do you know what? This is not going any further. Like, I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, but hey, listen, people got behind it and all the rest, and they backed me, and the judges must have liked it and stuff like that there. So I was pleasantly surprised. But the funny thing about it from the outset was about, when I go back to kind of my belief was I deserved to be in the semi-final, and I actually had a real gut feeling that I was going to get contacted. And they only contacted me to be in the semi-finals 10 days before the semi-finals. Everybody else had 3 months to prepare. People don't know this, like, that I actually was taken to London on the 28th of February and told that I wasn't in the semi-finals. So I stood on the stage in the London Palladium, and they said, oh, we were really sorry. I said no, and I was like, all right, okay. So I went back and regrouped, and I thought, I actually applied for Ninja Warrior. I applied for loads of TV shows, and I was all, this ain't beating me. I might be in the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent, but I'm going to do loads of other stuff. Like, and that's the one thing I'll say about people, if they want to be successful, they want to have drive themselves and stuff like that there. Don't wait for somebody to come and knock your door and hand you something. Everything that I've done, I've knocked doors, I've sent emails, I've made phone calls. I've been on a few TV shows over the last while, and very few of them, apart from the latest one from Russia, has come knocking my door, like, you know.
And you didn't just send people to listen, you didn't knock a door and send a email, like, you're like persistent, like, you have to keep knocking that door. Like, sometimes they don't hear it, you just need to keep sending them stuff.
Absolutely. And I'm actually what do you call it? Well, used to be quite modest. So I'm very, very poor at selling myself, and I was always very conscious that I was poor at selling myself, but I knew that in order to get people to understand your vision or your dream or what you want to do, you have to bring them with you, and to do that you have to tell a story. And to tell a story, you have to have a story to tell. And I think that's what's been good for me is, it's quite an intriguing and interesting story, because it's like something you couldn't write, like, to be honest with you, you know, it's weird, it is strange.
Not until you write your children's book.
Hey! Out next week.
Nice. Oh, that's good. And I think we try and say this stuff too in the podcast. That you started off with a song you were passionate about, and you went, well, hold on a minute here, the song. And then you started to have a vision and a goal. And then you had the determination and the commitment and the dedication. You still had your dark days, your days where you're like going, oh my God. But because your goals and your vision were so strong, your motivation, as you were saying, your two motivating factors, you go, now you know what? Head down, keep going. And you did feel a few times, or you felt you got knocked back, but it's like, right, wipe myself off, let's go again.
Absolutely. Hey, and I think I said that in Blue Peter after I broke that world record. It's not about how you fall down, it's about how you stand up, you know. And I had that feeling in that moment, you know. And I had plenty of times where it was a struggle, and there's plenty of times where I was absolutely wrecked tired, and I was sitting up in the early hours practicing world records and practicing, and that frustration of not being able to do it. And the more tired you get, the more difficult it is, you know. So but you got to go against all there's lots of things in your body and lots of things in your life telling you this ain't going to work, it's not going to happen, and you just you have to handle them. Like if they're pulling you down, if you think of it like you're in a swamp and stuff like that, you just have to keep going forward, you know, and pushing forward. And that takes a lot of energy. Like it takes a lot of mental energy as well, and you have to be in a good frame of mind, you know. But again, I always remember hearing when I was younger, like about what do you call it, Irish swimmer, isn't it, Michelle? I can't remember her name, but she won like loads of gold medals. She's a swimmer.
You're the sport guy.
I can't remember. I always remember her surname actually, but she was an Irish swimmer, and she used to always say that whenever she trained, she just visualized herself in top step with a gold medal. That's all she visualized. Like, so I think you keep that in your focus, you know, and just drive it from there. But yeah.
So I do everything. I visualize, like even when I'm coming up with a new routine in Magic, the outcome, what's the outcome, and then I go, right, how did I get there? Yeah. And then I work back. So the same idea when I'm teaching the fighters, or when we work with whenever we did the anchor and stuff, and we worked with the thing, I was like, who would you ring after when you've completed it? Then how would you have, what would have happened before you did that? Who would you have to chat to? What would you have to have done? And then you believe it reinforces your belief so that you've already done it. So whenever you walk on stage, you know what you need to do specifically, instead of like for fighters, I'm just going to go out and wreck them. Like, what does that mean? Like, how are you going to wreck them?
One move!
So you in 30 seconds.
So even like I work with a fighter, and we plan to do left step overhand right in 39 seconds or 37, something like that. In this fight, he knocked the guy out with that exact. Yeah. Because he had a specific vision of what he was going to do, rather than just, I don't know, I'm just going to knock him out. How are you going to do that? Yeah. What am I fast?
It's something too. I think I've learned definitely from Lee. One of the things is you train it too whenever you don't need it. Yeah. So you train yourself now. Even taking the example of the balloons. Mm-hmm. You know, yes, the world record was there, but you know, you need to get yourself in mentally into that zone. And you could have just easily just went, I'll just do the balloons, but you go, no, I need to focus on getting into the zone. Now, I feel brilliant at the minute, I feel good, but no, hold on a minute. You know, it's the simple things like if people, we talk about doing meditation and things, it's practicing the brain now, practicing the mind now for whenever you need it. And then you can go back and go trigger and go, well, hold on a minute. This is what I've been preparing for. So it's exactly the same thing. Do it now, and then you can improve it after.
Absolutely, and I think that if you do that preparation, it stands to you absolutely whenever you're in those situations. Because people thought that whenever I was on stage and there was so many people and the judges and all that other stuff was massive pressure, but that was just noise. Like it didn't matter to me. Really didn't matter to me. But like whenever I was practicing the world records, like there was loads of times, and to be honest with you, going on and doing that world record in Britain's Got Talent, there was so much jeopardy. Like I could have bust any one of them balloons. If I had a busted balloon, they'd have buzzed me. Like lights were it would have been over. Like they wouldn't have gone, oh, give them another go. Like
big one too.
You know what I mean? that could have definitely happened. But you know, and I haven't really talked about this a lot, to be honest with you. But in the run up to that world record and going on Britain's Got Talent, they only gave me 7 days notice for that world record that I had never attempted for in my life. And whenever I had done it the first time in my kitchen, I said to my wife, this cannot be done. This can't be done. It's impossible. And then I thought to myself straight away after that, I thought, I can't think like that. I can't think like that. And I had to change my thought. And even though I practiced that during the week, and I had beaten it in practice and stuff like that, I still had to perform on that stage in that time under that pressure. But I could never allow myself to think negatively like that about that experience again, because I had to think things will go right for me, everything will be fine. And once I started thinking more positively, then things definitely happened for me. And again, nobody really knows this, but the first balloon that I made on that stage in Britain's Got Talent, out of probably 1,000 times practice during that week, something happened that never happened in practice. The first twist in the caterpillar when I done it, and I went on to the second twist, third twist, you put the balloon through the centre and then you tie it in. But as I done that, the first twist came out and I couldn't see it, but I just knew and I felt that it come out, and I thought, I'm going to have to go back and fix that. So in practice, I was doing a balloon caterpillar, which is the most difficult, in under 20 seconds. On stage, I think it took 27, 28 seconds. So I lost all my speed and my time.
Yeah.
But I knew that, and that's why I went faster. But what they didn't know on stage as well was I put the most difficult balloon first and the easiest balloon second. So I knew I was going to speed up. And you know what? It just all worked out, hey, because for them it was massive intrigue. Like, there's a big massive clock behind me that was counting down, and whenever I had finished, it was right down to 1.3. Like, so the drama was good, like, you know.
Yeah, you did it on purpose. It was like,
but people,
we break.
but people thought that, you know, and I thought to myself, you know, well, I didn't plan for that, but it just worked out. And then in the semi-finals, actually, the table actually in the audition was only about 4 foot, but in the semi-finals, in my practice, in my run through, I had actually, what do you call it? They gave me a table, and it wasn't that. I had to do 14 balloons. They gave me a table, and the first table was 4 foot with 5 balloons. The second table was about 8 foot. And then in the rehearsals on Sunday night for Britain's Got Talent, I went through the balloons and done them, and I had like 7 seconds left. It was that fast. So they says, make the table longer. So the table was the whole width of the stage to slow me down. And I was like, I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me. I can move. I've trained. Liam trained me. But no, I knew I could move down the table. I knew I could do it fast, and no problem with transition all there. But the what do you call it? The guidelines for my record changed 24 hours before I went on stage in the semi-final. So everything changed, and I was under so much pressure and so much stress that day. And I remember chatting to Frank Mitchell on, what does he do? Drive 105. He phoned me that day, and I remember thinking, I'm here at Britain's Got Talent doing a world record that I knew in my head that I couldn't beat that world record. Now, I can think positive all day long, but I hadn't beaten the world record because they changed the guidelines.
Yeah.
I had to learn new models. I couldn't go into muscle memory mode. Mm-hmm. So whilst I was on that stage throughout that whole thing, I was like, I didn't know how it would work, but I ended up miraculously equaling the record. I don't even know how I done that because a couple of things twisted out and all the rest. But listen, that night wasn't meant to be for me. I was lucky enough to equal the record, but I had to have the resilience to go away and take that in the chin and go. I couldn't control them situations.
No,
so they happened, and you learn from them.
So where are you going to go from here? Like, I know we've talked a lot about the work with kids, and that's why you get into it. But you do corporate work as well, like you're.
Yeah. I do.
You do.
Sounds like a song. Yeah, I do a lot of corporate work. A lot of my work is working for councils and private companies and building massive balloon sculptures and doing stuff like that. One thing I'm doing a lot of recently is balloon workshops where I'm teaching people how to make balloons, which I think is great. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be
where are they going to be held? Like, sign up.
yeah. Well, actually, I'm going to hold them locally, and I'm going to get it sorted out over the next probably 4 to 6 weeks. But I'm going to run certainly a series of workshops in and around the Oma area, and then see where it goes from there. I mean, I got to tap into online, so I'm going to do a bit of filming next month on me instructing people how to make balloon models, stuff like that. A lot of the kids and a lot of people that I meet are really interested to learn the art of balloon modeling. They're really they really want to know how to do it. Remember when I started doing it, actually, I was doing it from an instruction book, and it just didn't work. I had to go online and watch a video for me to actually get the knack for it, you know. So I think definitely doing online videos and stuff like that there. I'm going to start doing more stuff on YouTube with videos around children's entertainment and me doing kind of making balloons and going on visits to certain places and making certain balloon models and stuff like that. So I have loads of ideas for that there. I'm working on a primary schools program as well to try and get balloon modeling more in the primary schools and whatnot. So there's loads of things happening. I'm going to Russia in a few weeks' time to compete on the national TV show called Best of the Best. And that's going to be...
It used to be a deadly kung fu movie.
I loved it. Like, I grew up with Best of the Best. Do you remember the cowboy and all? I loved it. Hey, so then I said to my wife, I was all, I want to be on a TV show called Best of the Best. She was wise up, and I was all, I know it sounds a bit strange. Like, but this is, they headhunted me and says we were looking for the best balloon model in the world. and they want me to go to Russia, be an international TV show that's broadcast on Russia 1, which is like BBC 1 to over 117 million people, and I have to compete with the best that they've got in Russia. And try and beat them. Nice. So, I mean, not like going to Moscow and trying to beat a Russian. We were
talking food all over. It's like, can I do like making balloons in the snow, like on the log cabin, and then like the balloon guys are in this tight techno thing. Like,
that'd be a great video, man. I'll make that video.
Nice.
I'll be Paulie.
Yeah. I'll be Adrian. Very good. So, where's the best place then for you? There's a lot coming up. Where's the best place for people to catch you?
Loads of stuff. Listen, social media. Get my main channel is to be on my Facebook page. Duffs Balloons is my business page, but also get me on Instagram. I'm on there as Ryan Tracy Balloons, or I'm on Twitter as Ryan Tracy _Duff. A lot of names going on there. Apologies, but you will find me online. And if you're interested and want to see some of the stuff I've done in the past, if you just look up my YouTube channel, Duff the Balloon Ninja, or if you want to just Google Ryan Tracy, you'll see some of the stuff that's happened over the last wee while. But yeah, listen, it's the start of something, but it's certainly it's about seeing where it can go, you know. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Brilliant, thank you very much. I really enjoyed the conversation, so I'm hoping everyone else did.
Yeah.
I
think it was good. I think we will mention, we've done our draw already for our ninja. So that's man. How you find yourself. So we'll give away a total of 5 of them, wasn't it? How many ninjas is there? 4. Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael.
Redeemed yourself there.
You know what one this is?
Donatello.
Hey!
I was
quite good.
It was 5 because there was Splinter was always Splinter was always there.
I haven't done Shredder yet.
Shredder.
The name's like a person.
Do April and then the band and all that. So yeah, no. For me, obviously, it was our first time probably meeting, and great. Another person we've had on who, like everybody we talked to, he helped inspire us.
Appreciate it, man.
You know, so really enjoyed that. So guys, yes, this as always, you'll be listening to this now, and we go live or launch our podcast at 6 o'clock. We don't go live, we always say live, but we launch our podcast every Thursday 6 o'clock. You can listen to us direct link. We're also on iTunes. If you are listening to us on iTunes as well, please subscribe and give us a review, because it'll help us spread the word of what we're actually trying to do, and trying to get more inspiring people on, so we can get you making balloons. Do whatever you want. So yes, from me, thanks very much once again.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you from me.
Cheers, thank you. Appreciate it, lads.
Good luck.